All right, going to do a little mic check here, make sure everything is going according to plan. It sounds like we are on my end. We do have another storm chance that'll be moving in starting tomorrow. And that's what we're going to be focusing on. Tropics are active, but all the big stuff looks to be out in the Atlantic for the time being. Aaron's the big storm. That's the one getting all the national headlines, but that is no threat for us. In fact, the seas are really calm in the Gulf, 1 foot flat type conditions right now. But again, we do have some unsettled weather that will be working our way heading into Thursday, Friday, and perhaps lingering into the weekend. So we will get to this discussion here shortly. I'm trying to let people join up. I know people click on this thing whenever. There's no real time on it, but right now it's 8:46 on August the 20th. It is a Wednesday evening. We will bring up the graphics here. And, it's still 90 degrees outside. Bailey, can you believe it? Bailey's one of our employees here. Very shy, won't ever come over here and chat. She's already gone. But yeah, 90 degrees outside. It's 8:45. That's the temp out at the airport. Again, going to just try to hang out on this for a little longer, let people join up as we get talking about the unsettled weather. I think we've got scattered to maybe numerous storms in the forecast tomorrow and maybe even Friday, with some even possible into the weekend. Tonight, though, things are quiet. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s overnight. This is during the overnight time frame here. Mid 70s by tomorrow morning. And the winds are going to be pretty light and variable in direction. So we're not going to have much of a breeze, if any at all, out there. It's one of the reasons why the water's been so flat. Bays have been smooth this week. The wind has not been strong. And one of the things to note about the wind being somewhat relaxed is that can help with storm chances. When the winds are really strong, it can undercut some of the storm development, but when they're calmer, it tends to give us a better chance to get storms developing. And tomorrow we've got several mechanisms that'll be in play to deliver that chance for some showers and or thunderstorms. And we will get to questions. I'll jump on this and try to get to them after we finish talking about the forecast. So overnight is quiet. On the Texas map here, the front that's going to end up moving into the coastal bend tomorrow is still closer to I-10. And if you're looking at this with me here on the map, you'll see that little, line of showers. It's a broken line of showers and thunderstorms moving southward with that boundary. So you can see and detect the front by just looking at the radar imagery. The wind is also trying to turn to out of the north behind this front. And yes, it's a cold front, but it is not a temperature dropper for us. It's going to be more of a boundary that allows for the possibility of storm development. And one thing we were talking about internally, our weather staff, is, we're talking about things like, well, do we want to go with a weather impact alert tag for tomorrow's rain chance, right? And as a team, we decided against that today. That may change tomorrow. But one variable that we were watching for as to whether or not go with that is how the storm behavior developed today near I-10 on that front. And you can see that there isn't a ton of activity on that front as of right now. There probably won't be overnight. So there's not a bunch of action there. So we didn't go with the weather impact alert branding on our end. That being said, I do think that the rain chances look decent here for tomorrow. I think it'll be a slightly better chance than what we saw in the area yesterday. By better chance, I think more coverage on the rain. When I say coverage, it means like how much rain is falling over the coastal bend. So we're mentioning that front is not going to be much of a temperature mover, and there's nothing sticking out to my eye on the temp map here with that front near the I-10 corridor. It's really, it's not going to be a big deal with respect to temperatures. But as it moves south, it will provide us with the chance for, again, scattered to maybe numerous showers or thunderstorms. Tomorrow morning, this front will be working in. I don't think tomorrow is really anything at all. I think tomorrow morning is just like this morning, where it was primarily sunny. There was a little shower activity out near Port Aransas, cast a nice canopy of clouds over Corpus Christi this morning. It was really nice. I was out walking with my daughter, and we didn't get any direct sun because of that little shower that was in Port Aransas. It threw some clouds over the area. 10 o'clock hour was fantastic here this morning because of that shade. Tomorrow, I think, is similar. We may not have that canopy of clouds, but I do think that it's going to be quiet to start Thursday. And temperatures, they warm up. They're going to be in the middle to upper 90s heading into early Thursday afternoon. And it won't be until after the noontime hour that we begin to see the storm chances go up. So the front's got to come in. Moisture's also going to be coming in with this front. And temperatures need time to heat up. So we need those three things to happen. And once they do, we should start to see showers and thunderstorms bubble up. I will say that our in-house model looks a little bit too rambunctious with how much activity it's throwing out. I think we've got scattered stuff for sure, which by our definition is 40 to 60% of the area cashing in on rain. This would be numerous if it played out like this. So that's why when we're starting talking about this, I was saying scattered to perhaps numerous showers or thunderstorms. I don't think any of this is going to reach severe limits. That would be 58 mile an hour wind, 1-inch hail, or a tornado. Any one or combination of those three things would classify a storm as severe. So I don't think we see that. But heavy rain is certainly on the table with some of this activity. And again, this starts to really pick up after the noontime hour. And I think all afternoon, scattered showers or storms are in play until we start losing daytime heating. So by around 7, 8, we should see this activity disperse, fizzle out. And Chris was asking, I know we've got Yordan Alvarez in town with the hooks on the Astros rehab assignment. There may be a little delay, if anything, but I don't think sporting events are getting canceled tomorrow night, given the coverage expected to decrease with sunset. So that's how I see Thursday playing out in a nutshell. It's the afternoon time where it looks best for the opportunity for those scattered to maybe numerous showers or thunderstorms. And temperatures will get cooler as all this is happening. We saw that happen yesterday, and we will likely see that happen again tomorrow. Friday, same type of deal. It starts out quiet. This front will already be draped over the area, and as temperatures start to warm up, there are the scattered showers or thunderstorms in the region on Friday. So I don't see this as a severe threat. I see this as an opportunity for rain in the region. I know Nueces County just went into a burn ban. That went into effect, and we Sorry, I had spaghetti for dinner. I've got the burps right now. But the rain chances, I think look decent for the area into the next couple of days. For the weekend, I see one less category on the coverage. We'll get to that in a sec. But Thursday, Friday look fairly active. Our threshold for the weather impact alert, one of the thresholds actually, is 60% on the rain chances. That's about where we're at. We're borderline weather impact alert. I'll put it this way. If we were at 60% on this coverage and we were expecting severe to be part of this equation or flooding, then I would go weather impact alert. But the coverage alone, I don't think raises it to that level. So I do think it's a chance for rain and a decent chance for rain at that, but I don't think it rises to the weather impact alert tag Thursday or Friday in the coastal bend. These are the notes. It's definitely, there will be rain in the region both Thursday and Friday. The harder part is that this rain is going to be distributed at random. So there's not a way of telling you that Kingsville gets X at Y time and Bville gets X at Y time. There's just it won't happen as like that. It's not like we've got a cold front that's just going to move through. We know that between this hour and this hour, this line of storms comes in and then it moves out. That's not going to be the case. This is more of a hit and miss chance for several hours in the afternoon. I give the analogy of warming up a pot of water to boiling. You know that the bubbles are going to happen, but you don't know exactly where those bubbles initially are going to start popping up, right? The boiling's going to happen and the bubbles are going to come up, but you don't know exactly what part of the pot that first bubble pops, so to speak. So that's a loose analogy for how the rain is going to be developing tomorrow. Some of it will be heavy. I would have the rain gear handy, I'm not worried about it in the morning time. It's more so the afternoon. So heading to work, probably not going to need it. On the way home, you might. And you might drive through some rain on the way home from work or school. And it's not going to rain every single spot the same way each day. So it's a random distribution. The moisture is going to linger into the weekend. I don't think it's as active, but I do think we see widely scattered rain in the region. So those are the categorical words we use: isolated, widely scattered, scattered, numerous, and widespread. The percentage attached to those categories, that's the coverage of the coastal bend that we're anticipating the rain to be. So that little map under the coverage categories, that's the KIII viewing area. Now you know. These graphics are covered with information that may not be as obvious when you're just glancing at them. So that's how this graphic is made. In terms of totals now, a lot of times, if there's going to be a trend on the rain or one region looks to have a better chance than another, we'll make rain maps that show, this amount near the coast, this amount inland, this amount to the north, and what have you. This rain chance, I think, is going to be more uniform. So I'm not making a rain map because I just think it's somewhat redundant. I do think most people stay under 1 inch, with a range 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch, the most likely, but some places could get a little more in isolated spots, others a little less, and that's just the way it goes with rain episodes. There's not a huge flood risk with this. I think the Weather Prediction Center has us in the lowest risk category for flooding. If you think back to last Friday, we were in the same category and really nothing happened with respect to flooding. We had a few passing showers, but definitely nothing close to flooding. So I'm not even showing that graphic. And you know, this is the general outlook. So into the weekend, I think it's going to be widely scattered. So we drop from scattered down to widely scattered. So less coverage, lower chances, but there still will be some activity floating around. Well, this is a boo-boo on my end. I have that set to the wrong setting. But I was going to show that to say that the tropics are active, but the Gulf is quiet with respect to tropical activity. Really, it looks like for the next maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Into September, you know, there's some rumblings from the modeling, but that's several weeks from now, so there's no real way to give any, you know, sense of a reliable outlook in a tangible sense. There's nothing actionable you can do weeks in advance other than the general preparedness you should be practicing during hurricane season. So I will try and answer some of these questions that inevitably come in, and what I'll do here is go back to the next 2 days worth of rain chances. I think this is a great graphic, gives a good idea of what to expect with respect to the chances for rain. Martha Gonzalez asks, are we getting a lot of rain to where when we go to a golf park, we won't be able to drive a golf cart? Maybe Friday evening. I'm guessing you're asking about cart path only. That's a course decision. It's possible it's cart path only, or they don't allow carts out. Just depends on how much rain exactly falls on the course. So, you know, they may be to where they're not allowing carts out. Don't want to ruin the fairways. And it doesn't look like there are too many more questions. Typically, they'll start popping up after we start answering the questions. So I'll hang out on this. It's now 9:03. If you're watching via Facebook, thank you. We appreciate it. If you're watching via YouTube, thank you. We appreciate it. This also lives on our 3 News Plus app, which you can download for free and watch it on a bigger screen, like your nice flat screen that's hanging up in your living room. You can do that too. So that's a good resource. And that 3 News Plus app has a lot of long format content tailored to the coastal bend. I think Mike tomorrow is going to have a huge interview with someone at the port talking about things that they're doing out there. But, you know, there's all kinds of stuff on there that's local, straight up coastal bend Corpus Christi content. Another question, how much rain for Corpus Christi? I think on average 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain the next several days. Lupe Arzola from Beeville, thank you for logging on. Home of Rudy Trevino as well, Beeville, Texas. So we'll keep hanging out on this for another few minutes, see if more questions don't come in. But maybe one more graphic talking about the rain chances. The Futurecast, this is a great just visual, temps, wind, surface features, and simulated clouds and radar. It's the whole package. So really driving the rain chances tomorrow, a stationary boundary moving in, abundant moisture, and then daytime heating. Those 3 things are going to help ignite showers and storms into the afternoon. So I think by lunchtime, things could start early, but I think it's more so into the afternoon, through the middle of the afternoon, late afternoon, that we have the best opportunity for rain. There's that scattered to numerous look on the simulated radar. That lasts through about 6, 7 o'clock. By 7, 8 o'clock, the loss of daytime heating should put a damper on the activity. We should see stuff fading away by sundown Thursday. Someone asked, will Kingsville be getting any rain? It's the same forecast throughout the area. Does look, like everyone's got about that 60%, 70% maybe chance for rain tomorrow. So that's across the board. That's the entire viewing area, every location on the map. Radar around 6. There probably will be some showers. They will be fading with the loss of daytime heating. Okay, Saturday afternoon and evening, widely scattered rain. Saturday afternoon, also likely dwindling with the loss of daytime heating. And again, if you missed this, this will live on the internet forever, so you can go back and watch it. We've been on now for roughly 20 minutes talking about this. I am going to log off of this live chat here, get back to work. But that's the extended look. I think the two best offerings of rain come Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday, stepping those chances down a little bit, but still widely scattered stuff, enough to warrant, hey, heads up, there could be some showers. I don't think that's plan canceling. Saturday, Sunday, tomorrow, Friday, if you've got afternoon stuff, there's probably going to be a point in time where you're dealing with some rain, just the way the modeling is looking. And then next week looks back to the more, traditional look where it's more of a sea breeze, isolated chance, kind of like we saw today, where there were a few showers and storms inland, but it was not massive on the coverage. So we'll leave it there. We'll see y'all at, around 10 o'clock for our live broadcast.